Alright, it's Chris here with Never Enough Outdoors, and I decided to take my lunch break and come to a lake nearby, near to my office. I found this lake when I was looking at Google Maps the other day trying to find some ponds around near my office, and I knew this lake existed, but I completely forgot about it. I'll add a link that shows how I do that, how I find ponds and lakes around me that I can go fish at for free. I'll add that in the description. And this is Lenora Park. It's in Snellville, Georgia. It's not a big lake, but it's just a little pond. I don't know if there's any fish in it, but we'll try, see what we can do. It's 46 degrees today, so it's kind of cool, but we'll go check it out. Please check out my other videos and subscribe to my channel. All right, so I'm in my truck here getting my stuff together for filming, and I wanted to show you. And I've got a video that talks about this, but I've got this power pack here. My battery on my GoPro's about 45%. So I'm gonna use this power pack to charge my battery when I'm not filming. And when I am filming, it will give me power, like replace the battery to run my camera. So y'all check out the other video that I'll leave in the description that tells about what I got to start up my YouTube channel and the parts that I got to go with my GoPro, and it'll explain more about what this is and how I use it. But I'm going to be sticking this in my pocket and running this cord around my back to charge and run my GoPro while I'm filming. All right, I decided to run this. This is connected to my power pack, and my power pack I ended up putting in my pocket. It's right there, and it goes around my back. It goes up through a belt loop to keep it out of the way, and then it goes under my shirt and over my shoulder, and it ties in here. I've got it run through my chest mount strap, and it plugs into my camera. As you can see, it's charging right now. My battery's at 46%, and that little lightning thing says it's charging my battery right now because I'm not recording, I'm not filming. But when I start filming, that will go away, and we'll push the film button here. So now I'm filming, so now that went away. It's not charging my battery anymore, it's just providing power to my unit. So this is a good way if you don't want to replace batteries all day, or if you have a GoPro like I do. I have the GoPro Hero 7 Silver, and the batteries cannot be taken out and replaced. It's an internal battery, so I have to get a battery pack to keep it running all day. All right, so I'm here at the back of my truck, and I had brought a spinning reel today, and I decided I was going to tie on a Texas rig, something simple, and put a worm on it. And I have a video that shows how to tie the three main knots that I tie. The clinch knot, the World's Fair knot, and the polymer knot. I'm going to tie the clinch knot to do this today. But in the video I showed you how to tie what I just took off of here, which is Carolina rig. And I used the World's Fair knot right here to tie this barrel swivel on, and I used the clinch knot to tie the worm hook on. And so check out that video. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And if you're like me, your tackle box is full of all kinds of stuff, and I always get stuff put in the wrong place, or I don't have enough places for everything. I'm just going to get a hook here. I obviously didn't do a good job of cleaning this up when I used it last, when I took it off. I'm just going to put a light weight on here. If I can get it in the hole, we'll tie a clinch knot. The way I tie a clinch knot, I go in my hook eye back in again. So I make a loop. And again, there's going to be a link in the description to how I tie this. And I just wrap this around here 7 times. And I'm going to go back through both of these things and then back through the tail that I just made a loop from. And I usually have to put it in my mouth, put that tail in my mouth to make it tight. You almost need 3 hands to do this with, but so there that is. That's my clinch knot, and that is super powered in my opinion. It goes around that hook eye twice, and it goes back through both of those loops. So that's real strong. I always keep my worms after I use them in a pocket in my bag so I can throw it away later. A lot of people throw their worms and stuff out in the water. Don't do that. The more you do that, the less fish we'll have to fish for and catch. Don't need to be destroying the environment. And all your old line, put your line, wad it up in a ball, tighten a knot, do whatever, but keep it, put it in your tackle box. Keep it a grocery bag or somewhere, something out, and you can keep it in there. I've got some worms. So my favorite worm is a Zoom watermelon red U-tail, and it seems to work decent for me. I'm gonna take 2 of them. The lake is just about 1,000 feet behind me down a walking trail. The parking lot was closed off to that area. They're restriping the lot, so I can't get close, but I'm gonna take this, stick it in my pocket, and go see if we can do any good. Again, this is Lenora Park in Snellville, Georgia, and I completely forgot there was a lake here. I've been here before, so I'm gonna go check it out, see if there's any fish biting today. I've got my Baitcaster in the truck. Y'all check out my video I made that shows how to cast a Baitcaster. I love casting my Baitcaster, and it's about all I cast, unless I'm fishing with a worm. Usually when I go to a lake that I've never been to, I don't like to necessarily go to the closest part of the lake to where the parking lot is, because that's usually where everybody else fishes. And that is not necessarily a bad thing, but it just, usually the places farther away don't get fished as often. So there's my worm on there. Let's go see if we can do any good. It looks pretty shallow over here. My weight's not very heavy, so I can't cast a long ways. I like to fish a worm really slow, but sometimes I get antsy and want to reel really fast. Fishing with a worm teaches patience, because you've got to imitate the worm swimming in the water, and worms aren't very fast. Sometimes I pull it up and let it fall, let it sit there for a minute. Sometimes I bump it around the ground real slow. Sometimes I drag it on the ground, all real slow. I don't usually just reel it in. Everything's real slow. I'm not gonna stay here long. I'm at work, just fishing on my lunch break. And I've even left my work phone on me today. Normally I don't for lunch. If I go jogging or walking, or just step out of the office for a little while, or if I go eat lunch somewhere, I'll keep it on me. If I go pick up lunch, I'll keep it on me. And I'll work. I'll answer phone calls and answer emails while I'm at lunch. But when I'm running, obviously I'm not gonna answer phone calls. So I just leave it in the truck, put it on vibrate, leave it in the truck, and enjoy my lunch. Last time I went fishing at lunch, I took my phone off of me and I left it in the truck. But today I brought it with me. When I found this lake on the map, I went to the county's website to make sure I was allowed to be fishing in this lake. Most lakes you can, and no one's usually going to stop you if you can't. But you always want to check regulations, be sure you're allowed to fish. I would really like to be back in that corner off that dam where no one probably takes the time to walk to. Back there where that person's walking at, probably a good little spot. I'm fishing with 12-pound string. If you're wondering, I just checked the battery power on my GoPro and it's at 50%. When I started, it was 46%. I've got this battery pack plugged into it, so my GoPro runs off the battery pack while it's recording, and then when I turn it off and it's not recording, it charges the battery. So my battery hasn't been used at all. If anything, it's been charged. So it's up to 50% now. It was at 46% when I started. It's February, so it's not really prime fishing time. Real cold. It's not so cold, but it's cold at night. It goes down, and it's been going down in the 20s and 30s. I think the high today is in the upper 40s. And it's kind of breezy. I found a way around all this. There's a short walk through the woods. Jump a creek. The water looks a little bit cleaner over here. If I were a fish, where would I be? Probably in the deep water right now. Probably the very center of the lake. If you ever get this stuff on it, if you just pull up to the, you can pinch it right there and it'll come off. This might be a good lake to come back to another day when it's a little warmer. It's little, but it, for some reason, feels more promising than the other lake I went to the other day. I don't normally catch much this time of year. Sometimes I get lucky. All right, 30 minutes of my lunch break is up. And I have to drive back to the office. I wish it were a little warmer. I love to get out of the office and take my mind off of work. Sometimes it's hard when it's cold and windy, no matter what I'm doing. I don't plan on catching anything today. It's just a nice day to get out of the office. But I might get lucky, you never know. If I had time, I'd make my whole lap around this lake, but I don't. Wonder how deep it is out there in the middle. Little sidearm cast. I know there's no fish over here. It's too shallow. I just wanted to cast over there for no reason. Thankfully, I found a way to make my GoPro sit up flat on my chest. I've got a video, so go check it out, that tells how to make that happen. I was using the little attachment that came with my GoPro, and it worked, but it wasn't facing straight ahead. It wasn't shooting level. It was shooting kind of towards the ground. I didn't like it. And I went through my bag of goodies that I bought off Amazon, and I realized that I had bought a piece that would fix that. So I made a video on how to do that. If you're having the same issue I have, you got a chest mount and it points down at the ground like this, and that's as high as you can get it to go. And you want it to sit up a little higher like this. I've got a video that shows how to do that. So check it out. All right, I'm gonna give this one more go. I've already fished this area a few casts already. It's really shallow, but sometimes I'm thinking there's a young largemouth that's worked his way up in here and bites my line for no reason. Whoop. Probably better leave. First day in a long time, I don't have one conference call till late this afternoon. A lot of my conference calls go right through lunch. So if you're gonna take a lunch break at lunchtime, I usually don't get that option. A lot of people I work with work out west on Pacific time. So they're 3 hours behind me. I'm on Eastern time. And our times don't get along. I go fishing a lot, knowing I probably won't catch anything. But I enjoy the casting and reeling and perfecting casting and learning from my mistakes. And sometimes I'll purposely throw and get a rat's nest in my Baitcaster so I can clean it out. I'm gonna have to make a video on cleaning out rat's nests in your Baitcaster, because I threw so many when I was learning how to throw a Baitcaster that I got really good at cleaning them out. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna head back to the office. This time I actually brought my cell phone with me from work so I could work while I was taking my lunch break. I actually did get one phone call that I took and handled and went back to my lunch break of fishing. It was good to get out of the office and step away from work, even though I brought it with me. It was good to get away from the computer, relax my eyes, enjoy God's creation, and just relax a little bit. Now I'm repowered. I can get back to work and hit it hard this afternoon before I go home. All right, I'm back here at the truck. Didn't catch anything, but I had fun doing it. Got away from work and enjoyed myself for a few minutes. I'm gonna head back to the office so I can start working some more, get my day's worth of work in, and we'll hit it again another day. Maybe I'll come back to this lake when it's a little warmer. Maybe there's some fish in it, I don't know, but we'll try. Again, thanks for watching. Y'all please subscribe to my channel. Check out my other videos. They'll be listed in the description as the ones that I mentioned on this video. Enjoy.